Hi, I'm Belinda, and welcome to Belinda's Baubles. This is a special out and about episode for the DFW Fiber Fest 2025. It was their 20th anniversary, and it occurs in Irving, Texas, which is about, depending on traffic, a 30-minute drive for me. And I was able to attend it for 2 days this year. Normally, I only end up with about 1 day due to work, but this year it was 2 days. And I was able to just have an amazing time. And I wanted to share that with you. So get your cup of coffee, get your cup of tea. I'm already in full Halloween mode here, including my nails. And even with my earrings, which I got a couple of stitch marker charms from Charmed and Dangerous, and it's a couple of black skulls with balls of green yarn on there, and I've got a crochet hook in one ear and a knitting needles in the other. So between that, my Stephanie Lotvin, I think this was the Witch's Brew from last year, and so we're ready to go. All right, so as they say, buckle up, buttercup, we're going. So just to tell you a little bit about the Fiber Fest, if you're not familiar with it. I was going to show you my book, but I'm going to put some pictures up here instead. This year was the 20th anniversary for the DFW Fiber Fest. And let me read just the inside cover of their little book they gave out to us. And it says that, happy birthday to us. DFW Fiber Fest began in 2005 as a grassroots gathering of local fiber enthusiasts who wanted a community-centered event focused on education, creativity, and connection. What started with 5 vendors and a handful of delightful fiber art classes has grown into an international urban fiber festival, offering over 100 classes, attracting acclaimed teachers, and over 100 vendors this year. In fact, there were 119 listed. From across the country and attendees from near and far. Over the years, DFW Fiber Fest has become known for our welcoming atmosphere, dynamic and unique classes, and vibrant marketplace. From knitting and crochet to spinning, weaving, and beyond, the festival celebrates all aspects of the fiber arts while supporting the community that makes them thrive. And thank you so much. This is a 100% volunteer board, and with them running it, it is amazing. And thank you so much for all of your hard work that went into such an amazing event. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of video in here from time to time to tell you about and show you my day on Saturday, because I went for Saturday and Sunday. I was working Friday, so I was not able to attend the Friday night bingo, which I keep hearing is something that's pretty amazing to go to, and I'm hoping to catch it one of these years. Bill went on Friday, and he told me it was really funny as far as he was wandering around and people were stopping him from time to time that know both of us and asking where I was. His response was very typical of Bill. She's not retired yet. No, I'm not. I had to be at work. He's retired this year, so he got to go. And so he went for Friday and Saturday. So Saturday, whenever I went, what I decided to do for this year was Saturday was going to be my day. I was just going to go and have a blast, experience a day at the Fiber Festival in the marketplace mainly. I did not attend any classes this year. I looked through them and decided that with the amount of time I had for everything, I had gone to a couple of classes at different yarn shops this year, and I just didn't see anything that grabbed me, that I wanted to spend the time learning and everything on that day. Instead, I wanted to be able to record for you guys and to just experience the marketplace, because there is just so much in there. Now, to get into the marketplace, it's $10 a day. That includes your parking outside, as far as they make it to where there's no charge for parking, which is, in a city nowadays, that is a big deal. And so I spent the $10 for Sunday, but I actually got in free on Saturday because I volunteered this year. I've been wanting to do this for the last few years. I had gotten sick one year and just did not have enough time last year to be able to volunteer. So I was excited I was able to volunteer this year for at least one of the time slots on Saturday. So going in to this venue, it is in the city of Irving, big area, or I don't know if it's a big area, but it's a very urban area inside the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and it's fairly central. So went in there and yarn bombing all over the place, including, let me show you this 20th anniversary cake that was made by Kate with One of a Kate. And so she did an amazing job, and she kept me in stitches most of the day because I kept running into her for different things. And I'll show you. Well, let's go ahead and show you how I spent part of my day. Her and some of her friends ended up putting up this red carpet event. And so here's me red carpeting. All right, so it wasn't just me doing this. There were quite a few of us over there, and we were all having a blast, laughing, enjoying ourselves, and just having fun. And so between that and then my shift was from, I think, 11:30 to 3. So the first part of my morning, I went around to the different vendors, did my shopping, which I will show you in a little bit. I'll put that at the end of the video after you guys get a chance to see all the vendors. And then ran into Bill, spent a little time with my brother Bill, and just wandered around looking at things. And then my shift was going to be in the vibratory. So here I am, all dressed up, ready to go with the apron they provided us while we were doing our shift. And as you can see, I've got yarn in my pocket. And I'd seen while walking around that a lot of the volunteers had plenty of time to get some knitting and crocheting in while working their shifts. So I made sure I was prepared. So then I went over to the vibratory, and what the vibratory is a place that you can explore, meet up with to see different things, and there's just got so much going on. And what they had going on for me while I was there was I was standing over and watching over their yarn tasting. Now, the yarn tasting is a place where you can meet your yarn, explore it, date it, and everything. And these are skeins of yarn that have been placed there for us to be able to just try out by some of the different vendors that had their booths there. So if you found one of these that you really liked, you could go, it showed you what booth to go to, and you could go take a look. Or if you had a booth that you weren't quite sure if you wanted to purchase their yarn or not, you weren't sure how it would work up for you, you could come over and figure out if we had it in the yarn tasting for you to be able to try out before you purchased. So it was a really good thing. There was also had a few other things going on, including Denise Bell with Lost City Knits. She brought her Oregon vest and showed people how to steek it, and they were actually doing the steeking. My friend Evelyn DeWitt, that you would have seen last year whenever I went to the alpaca farm playing the dulcimer, she's always got a rabbit hole for me to go down. And she was actually volunteering her time to do drop spindle and to show people how to do drop spindle. There was also someone showing how to do alginate bio yarn. Apparently there's a lot to do with this, and there's videos out there to show you how to do it on TikTok and Instagram, Facebook. So you can go take a look at that. But here, this was my experience with it. Bill graciously recorded me for it so that I could show you. And it's basically in the background there you see the recipe, let's say. The top part is for what you put into the squeeze bottles. The bottom part is for the solution that you put in the bowl. And you're just taking the squeeze bottle, squeezing that in, and as it hits the solution in the bottom, it turns into this rubbery material. And it is, a lot of people had trouble with the texture. The texture wasn't too bad to me, but a lot of others were really having some struggles with touching it because it is a bit slimy. You can either work with it while it's wet, which for me it broke because I was just too tight of a crocheter, or there was a little sample there that you could see where she had knit it and she had waited till it dried. It takes about 24 hours to dry. And then she used it when it was dried, and she knitted with it a bit. So it was a fun experience. And since I was back in that area for that time, I got to play around with some of these different things. You could also see in the background that there were some spinning wheels that one of the shops had set up so you could actually test them out before purchasing or just see if that was for you. So that was a few of the things that was going on there. Then out in front of the Fibertory, you would look out on all of these tables, and just people were out there meeting up, knitting, crocheting, sharing their love of the fiber arts with each other. And in the video I would have put up here, see if you can spot Bill out there. He was out there. So while I was working this, I was watching him have a fun time out in front of me. There was also some book signings, and Kelsey Davis with Atomic Crochet had a book signing, and she had some of her items there to be able to see what you could make from the book. I didn't purchase the book, but I am going to look her up and do a little bit more research on her. She was such a sweet, sweet lady, and I really enjoyed getting to meet her. The next day, there was another book signing, which was with Toni Lipsey. And I did get one of her books because I am wanting to learn Tunisian crochet. And this is her newest book, the Tunisian Crochet Handbook, A Beginner's Guide. And she is with TL Yarn Crafts. And I got to meet her and her mom. Show you a picture here. And I got my book signed. She spelled my name wrong the first time, and she wouldn't let me have that one. I'm like, no, I could take that one, but nope. Okay, so we're going to explore some of her stuff later on as I teach myself how to do Tunisian crochet. I've tried it in the past. It didn't click, but that was before I learned to knit. So I'm hoping that now it'll just click together. So after my shift, I went back to doing a little bit more shopping, hanging out, enjoying myself. That's when I did the dancing. And also on the Lambs Yarn Shop booth, which they were the ones that hosted Toni Lipsey on Sunday. They had an arm, a claw machine. They had all these big balls in it. And I've put the video of me doing it in with whenever I was experiencing their or going around to all the booths. So you'll see that a little bit later on. But this is what I won. This is one of Gloria with Hank Me Home Tonight's cups. And what it says on here is blood stains are red, UV lights are blue. I watch enough true crime, they'll never find you. I showed this to Seaver and he handed it to his dad. I don't know why. Sam always tells me that he's told all of his friends if something happens to him with all of the crime shows that I watch, that they do need to look at me. I don't know what's wrong with the man. I mean, we've been together almost 28 years. We've been married 27 years. So, yeah, I think he's got me broken in. Okay, so let me see if there was anything else I wanted to tell you about as far as from Saturday. No, I think that's pretty much it. Other than I met up with several friends and just had a really great time just experiencing, talking to some of the different vendors that I had not met before, and just experiencing the whole event by itself. So then, after that, I was debating on whether to tell you now or later. As far as the reason I wasn't able to go for the full day and experience as much on Sunday was that Saturday night I started having pains in my chest and in my arm. It went up to my neck and my head, and it really got us worried. So I ended up in the emergency room, and come to find out I had pleurisy. My heart is perfectly fine. They tested it really well, but I had pleurisy, which was an aggravation. I've heard the word before, but I didn't remember what it was. Basically, I've aggravated the outside lining of my lungs. So I had to go on steroids for a while. As you can see, I'm fine. My body's just continuing to attack me this year. I don't know why it's mad at me, but because of that, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to make it back on Sunday. I was exhausted. I was tired. But when I woke up Sunday morning, I was feeling really good. Seaver and Sam were exhausted because they had been at the emergency room with me. But I knew that if I stayed home, I would have been aggravated with myself because I wouldn't have all this lovely video I'm about to show you of the actual vendors. And I really wanted to be able to show that to you. So Sam said I could go as long as I took one of them with me. So Seaver agreed to go with me. And here we are at the Fiber Festival. The only thing was I had a limited amount of time, and he kept me on task, kept telling me how much time I had, kept moving me along and everything, and really helped me out. And so I was able to share it with him because he had never been to any of these fiber events with me before. He's always willing to come in and have a blast with me on my out and abouts. So next up, let's attend the DFW Fiber Fest together, and let me show you some of the vendors that really caught my eye. Thanks for joining me in the vendor hall, and let's have some fun. First up is WhimzeeStitches Designs out of New Orleans, Louisiana, celebrating a colorful decade of handmade project bags and hand-dyed yarns. You really should check out Rick's journey on his website to becoming a solopreneur. And these project bags are to die for. Look at this great fabric, and I had to keep petting this one. I wish I could have taken it home, but it just wasn't in the cards this time. So fluffy. He also has all these great colors. Next is Yarn Matters. Yarn Matter out of Austin, Texas is naturally hand-dyed yarn, mucilage-free, non-superwash, and it's ethically sourced from South America or Australian farms. Dye is created with variety of foliage, food waste, and insects. Erin is also a crochet pattern designer and tech editor. There's such soft, soft colors, and the bases feel wonderful. Then is Sky Loom Weavers out of Katy, Texas. Penny and Peggy, who have been friends for 39 years, created SLW to sell the items they enjoy making. They dye, they spin, they weave, and offer other handcrafted items, as well as spinning wheels and Cricut looms. Then there's Stunning String Studios out of DeKalb, Illinois. Cindy took her obsession for the perfect yarn and was joined by her husband, Tom, and brought all of his art background into dyeing yarn, producing small batch kettle dyed yarns while moving into their new store and offering free shipping on orders over $39. Check out their website. That is in the US. And that was at the time of this recording. And who else needs a longhorn hat? Okay, I do. Spotted Circus is from Freedom, Indiana. Elizabeth Taylor is a dyer and owner. They raise alpacas, llamas, and Teeswater sheep. She's a lover of all things neon, and I love her fun knit stitch 3D printed items here. I mean, look at these. Sam and I had a 3D printer for a period of time, and they're not the easiest thing. Bernard Family Farm that Seaver is enjoying here is out of Bonnie, Illinois. It's a working farm engaged in agritourism, grain, and fiber. Home to alpacas, llamas, 4 breeds of sheep, English Angora rabbits, mini donkeys, yaks, chickens, turkeys, peacocks, rays, emus, ducks, geese, dogs, and cats. And the humans somehow still have time to bring us a fun and interesting booth with so much packed into it. And this is some of their own fiber, even glitter fiber. Some of their alpaca, I think is what this one was. Seaver tried to stay away from the wall of socks because he's I gave him a pair last year of alpaca socks, and he's a little addicted to them now. He doesn't watch this video, so I can tell you I'm not showing you later because there was a Christmas present in it. Okay, so 316 Dye Studio out of Wichita, Kansas. The 316 is the area code for Wichita. Jenny Brown is a dyer, knitter, spinner, and lover of all things fiber and kitties. She admits she is happiest when she's creating something and hopes the joy she gets from creating her products will be passed through her hand-dyed yarn and fiber. These knit bloom socks come either as a kit or pre-made. Next up is My Fine Yarns out of Cypress, Texas, striving for quality yarn from naturally sustainable, cruelty-free, eco-friendly, ecologically wise sources, including indie dyers, co-ops, mid-sized mills, and small farms. And there was a yarn tasting. You know me and yarn tastings. And Seaver brought me over to this. This is by Kuna. Okay, so rabbit hole alert here. Naturally warm cinnamon hue from a shy camelid. Can you believe I got to touch it? Live in the alpine region of the Andes in South America. It's a national animal of Peru and a protected species. They are considered the wild ancestors of domesticated alpaca. I know we've moved on to muskox, but I want to tell you about vicuna first. 25 grams of the 100% fingering weight wild vicuna yarn sells for $295 from Shepherd's Textiles, or 1 ounce of roving for $20. Rarest and most expensive legal yarn in the world, 12 to 13 microns. And I got to touch it. Okay, so back to this. They have here Isle of Man Manx Loten sheep, Mongolian yak, soft baby camel, alpaca, and the Alaskan Kiviat from muskox. And I had so much fun with this yarn tasting, getting to pet these yarns. She also has Ancient Arts yarn out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Marlin Farms fiber out of Natalia, Texas, and Bad Sheep yarn out of Pensacola, Florida. So these ancient art yarns that she has, I mean, this one here has the Manx Loten sheep as part of their blend. And there was just some really cool fibers that she had in her stall that I hadn't seen anywhere else. as well as, superwash merino. So she had just a great variety. I'm going to let you breathe this in a little bit while I catch my breath. And here's the Marlin Farms fiber. All right, then the Greenwood Fiberworks out of Genola, Utah, home of the National Park subscription box. And she had her new Black Label luxury yarn, which we're going to look at here, which has the look of hand spun, but the luxury of 60% merino wool, 20% camel down, and 20% mulberry silk. This is it. After spending a couple of years developing this fiber, dyed in an indie mill spun yarn, fiber dyed, indie mill spun yarn that changes color throughout. I mean, look at how it works up. And this Bifurica vest by Teddy Lutsak of Teddy's Knit Garden YouTube channel. Go check that out. This is gorgeous. I love it. She had so many great samples. Including the Lost in Time crochet shawl. Next up is Erin Lane bags out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It all started with one set of knitting needles, and the simple principle, necessity is the mother of invention. If you want to know more, go to their website and read the amazing story while you shop for the bag or organizer you didn't know you had to have. And this is all Bill's fault. Wanderluck Fibers out of Forney, Texas. Since I first purchased her yarn 5 to 6 years ago, her offerings have grown from mainly superwash hand-dyed to multiple bases, including not only superwash, but also a blends of alpaca, silk, linen, and cotton, kid mohair, and now RWS Responsible Wool Standards certified Shiniko Wool Company. Okay, let me tell you about Jeri Woodworks while you check this out. As you can see, there is no limit to Jeri's original scroll Turkish spindle, but to the rest of us, she offers 3 sizes. Each pattern is hand-drawn and perfectly balanced, as well as tested before it is sold. Oops! I don't think Jeri was expecting that. Check out her website for some great items. Twisted Ambitions out of Owasso, Oklahoma. I don't know if I said that right or not, Ross. We met Ross Taylor during the North Texas Yarn Crawl this year after missing his trunk show last year. Ross definitely brings the color that doesn't disappoint and the fun. He has been dyeing yarn for almost 10 years, and I can't wait to see what he comes up with next. By the way, check out his My Everyday PJs pattern on his website. Can you get any brighter than this? He doesn't even need a black light. All those white ones down there, I think they had glitter to them. And his minis are always a lot of fun. I may have chosen a few. West 7th Wool is one of our local yarn shops here in Fort Worth, Texas. Amy and Hunter have expanded their dye studio, and I always come back to this. I mean, 400 grams, all in one ball. Again and again, I come back to it. Hunter really does a great job with dyeing his yarns, and if you're not following Amy, you really should. As far as with West 7th, she comes up with some great ideas. Okay, here's the Potha Fairy Fiber Cat out of Marble Falls, Arkansas, and if you get to meet her, you won't forget her. A hand spinner of 19 years, she not only runs a fiber business, but also raises curly sheep and French Angoras. as well as little boys that she homeschools in her spare time. If you're lucky, you might catch one of her classes at various fiber festivals. Heathered Handmaids is out of Spring, Texas. First met her at On the Lamb Yarn Shop and now has added Shanika fiber to her lineup. She just always has such bright, vibrant colors. Jewel Designs is out of Frederick, Maryland. It's owned by Laura Bellows, who trained as an anthropologist, and her partner, Angus Estradi. These amazing clasps are actually made in Indonesia, where she had a 2-year research adventure in Bali. Mustache Yarn is out of San Antonio, Texas, and I definitely want to stash their amazing self-striping yarn. This small family-run business also ships internationally, by the way. Not only do they have self-striping sock weight yarn, but also offer sport, DK, and worsted. And someday I will have a Doctor Who scarf sock. I mean, so many choices. There's that Doctor Who. What is your favorite? Here I am with Maureen with Charming You out of Colleyville, Texas. Maureen is an avid knitter and not so new anymore crocheter that has found her creative outlet when not working in corporate America, or she's in the barn with her horses or dyeing gorgeous yarn. Chinico Wool Company, which is a 100% U.S. grown, dyed, milled yarn. Maureen's mother, as a painter, inspired her to come up with more and more fun colorways, and she has experimented with different bases, including this DK Surrey, and it is so soft. She had very few left. And I love that Flutter Nutter DK. And a little bit of Halloween spookiness over here. Now also check out these new shawl clasps that she is making. She is working with this clay resin, and she's also making, these are more pins here and buttons. And take a look at the green and black striped one here. She took the waste clay from this to make the ones that are swirled to the right of it. Those there. I don't know which one I like better. I'm actually like the waste ones better. And here's a few more of what she had left. I recorded this on Sunday, so it wasn't a lot left. Then I got to meet Lavender Fiber Company. This was their first year at the DFW Fiber Fest, and they are out of California now, newly moved there from Tennessee. Autumn in Korea was the new line that she was premiering here. Amanda and Mr. Lavender are the owners and creators of this company, and their daughter is actually one of the, she makes their samples. This is done with Korean style natural dyeing method, and these colors are just so soft and beautiful. Nordic Star Yarns is always a favorite for me. Jenny and Cliff ethically source their bases, and the most popular one is this here. Their lace weight, 70% Super Kid Mohair, 30% Mulberry Silk. And they just always bring the colors. Sharpen Designs is out of Farmersville, Texas. Care is a crochet pattern designer, including an armadillo blanket that you really should check out. She loves to sew, crochet, bead weave, rug hook, dye, and embroider. Okay, cuteness alert coming up. Seaver found Eggy's mom. She really does enjoy her craft. Next up is Button and Boo out of Fort Worth, Texas. Jeri brings the authentic Harris tweed from the Outer Hebrides of Scotland, as well as these amazingly unique project bags, including some out-of-print fabrics. When this is gone, it's gone. What great quality work she does too. Here's Queen City Yarn out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Owner Janice has several different bases. Her Coleman DK is linen and silk blend. Her Lotta is a sport weight, American-grown, non-superwash merino rambouillet blend. And I love how she has these same bases, all in different sizes. Like this one has, of course, I like the big one, the 400 grams, or you can buy it in other sizes that she has down here, including minis, if you're making a project and you need just a certain amount. And this is her Lotta. If you want to hear more from her, go to last year's DFW Fiber Fest where she walked me through her booth. And this one caught Seaver's eye. He liked how the colors just faded through it. Of course, I like the flowers. On the Lamb Yarn Shop is my local yarn shop here in Grapevine, Texas. And she brought bits and pieces from the shop so that if you went and bought something fancy somewhere else, you could come over here and get some of Gloria's Hank Me Home Tonight yarn or some of these heritage yarns, including the tie-dyed. These are Gloria's Hank Me Home Tonight, which if you've watched my channel before, you've seen that I'm really crazy about. And now on the Lamb is Circulo's flagship in the area. I know I'm bouncing around a little bit. Check it out. Oh, and these cups and different notions. Mr. Lone Star Farm was also there, and he also does a lot of great woodworking and makes some amazing items. I always have fun with the names that Gloria comes up with. And some Cascade fiber. This was the Friday Harbor, I think, was brand new to the shop. She always brings something new that we haven't seen in the shop yet. And then here's more of the Circulos. And Labubus. I figured out the name. Don't know anything about them, but Labubus. She also brings the fun. Here's a little footage from the day before when I did my hand at it. What I get? I got a mini. And one of Gloria's 20-ounce tumblers. I'll show you what I chose later on. Okay, now we're on to Moonlit Yarns out of Oklahoma City. Kylie recently graduated with a chemical engineering degree, but her dream was to have her own hand-dyed yarn business. So this is her dream. It's hand-dyed yarn to practice stitchcraft with. Her words. But her yarns do have this darker feel to them. And it's just a totally different vibe from anywhere else. Now we have the Della Q bags. I don't really care for their plastic ones, but I really do like the waxed canvas bags. This gives you an idea of them. They are part of the Jimmy Bean shop that's been purchased by a local craft group recently. Yarn for the Masses is out of Parker, Colorado, and she hand dyes acrylic yarn. Alyssa was looking for something easy care, allergy friendly that she could just throw into the washing machine and dryer when she makes something for her kids. And so I have not seen hand dyed acrylic yarn anywhere else other than with her. I really need to get the stuff I bought last year out. Okay, so Whimsical You is out of Sherwood, Arkansas. Rachel is Hebrew. The name means ewe or little lamb, which her grandmother used to always buy her things with lambs on it. So when she named her company, that's what she came up with. She has 4 main yarn bases and offers yarn clubs, including a mystery yarn club starting at $22. Euphoria Knits is out of Denver, Colorado, and she brought her black light. Janessa is a self-professed mother, knitter, dyer, quilter, budding designer, spinner, and all-around yarn enabler. And boy, is she a yarn enabler. And she had such a great variety. Look at all these minis. Brian Hill's The Wood Shop is out of Branson, Mississippi, and this was his first time at DFW Fiber Fest. I was excited to meet both him and his wife and check out his shop on Etsy. There's not a whole lot there, but take a look at all these things that he has. He's going around to a lot of shows right now, so DM him on Instagram if you see something here that you like, including he's got handmade crochet hooks. Look at those. I've got to get one, and I just missed his free shipping by a couple of days. Oh well. Looky here. I love this. 100% made by my sweet husband. Trust me, my house is covered with tons of sawdust. I bet that is true. Thanks so much for showing us around. And he's right, it's not too early to do Christmas shopping. Do you need a lucette? All right, next is Quixotic Fibers out of Denison, Texas. You will have seen this shop with me in Yarn Crawls before. I didn't make it this last year. They have this shop, and they've closed down their one in Zephyr Hills, Florida, but they still have their own yarn in the yarn shop that is under new ownership there. But here in Denison area, you can shop up at the Katy Depot during Yarn Crawl with me, or just go anytime. There's always something great. And this is also the home of the Yarn Shop Babies 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0, and where I can find Jamieson and Smith, which I did pick some up for a Christmas count I'm wanting to make. Can you guess which colors that I chose? So many choices. This is Hun Bun Studio out of Fort Worth, Texas. I told Seaver he could pick anything here. Great Christmas present. They would get it to us because they're local. Husband and wife team make their clay from stoneware and porcelain. They don't have anything in the shop right now because they are going around to festivals. So DM them if you're interested in any of these items to see if they're still available through Instagram. Okay, I hope you really enjoyed that, and I am having a blast with you guys today. I don't know how long this video is going to end up being after I chop it up. I'm hoping it's not too long that I can put it all together, because we still have to see what I actually brought home with me. Okay, first up, I was trying to be good, I really was, but I treated myself to a Della-Q. I've never really cared for their plastic bags, as you know, but this is a waxed canvas. And this is their mini. Yeah, I've got it written down somewhere. I don't have it with me right now. But this is their mini messenger bag. And I really do like it. I'm using it as my purse now, but it's got enough room where in the back pocket back here, I have my yarn project. And they have this great little area for you to put your stitch markers, including my 20th anniversary, DFW Fiber Fest. Great pockets here, front, and then in the very back here, you see my hat I'm working on in there, but they have this little bitty tiny, get that out of the way, metal piece that you can cut your yarn with, so you don't have to have your scissors with you on the airplane if you're using this for travel. I'm using it for everyday type thing. And I've just got my zipper messed up. Okay. So then Bill treated me to some Harris tweed. And I have my official Harris tweed. I got a couple of them in case I needed them. But this is actual Harris tweed. And it says the orb mark is your guarantee of genuine Harris tweed cloth protected by the 1993 Harris Tweed Act of Parliament. Harris tweed must be made from 100% pure new wool dyed, spun, hand woven at the home of the weaver and finished in the Outer Hebrides of Scotland. So I've got my guarantee there. And this ended up being 1 meter, 30 inches by 40 inches. And what I am hoping to do with this is I'm going to cut it in half, and I want to make a scarf to go with my jacket that I'm making that's gold. So I figured it will go really, really well together. And thank you very much again, Bill. This was such a great treat. And I got this from the Button and Boo booth. Okay, so let me put this all back where it goes. She even gave me this great bag to keep it safe from moths. All right, so I took with me my bag that my stepmom made for me, and it really did a good job of holding all of my purchases that first day. I think I only made 1 or 2 purchases on day 2. One of them was this really cute Christmas ornament, which they were, actually I think I got this Saturday because they were sold out by Sunday. But with the skein of yarn, and I really love that. Okay, shall we dig in? Now I do have a project in the very bottom of this, so just to say. All right, so let's start here with Bashful Armadillo, which I am sad to say she is retiring, good, which is great for her, but I've always really enjoyed her yarns, and I got a sock tube from her, and this is, it's not telling me the colorway. Huh, I don't see the colorway on here. Unless this might be Corpus Christi, Texas. I'm not sure if that's just saying where she's from or if that's the colorway, but it's a knitted sock tube with 4-ply fingering weight, 85 extra fine merino, 15% nylon, 437 yards. And so that was my first purchase here. Oh no, I've already shown you other stuff, so that's not my true first purchase, but I also, where does she have it? Oh, I think this is it. Yeah. Sorry for the crinkling. She also gave me one of her pins and a sticker. Okay. Next up, where is it? Aha. Is it? Aha. Okay. Let's put this off to the side a little bit. Give me a little room in the middle. Next up was Erin Lane. And I found with this bag, I'm really enjoying these large bags to be able to throw several things in. And this is Flight of the Monarch. I can't remember the name of it. Oh, I just looked at it a minute ago. Got all this great space in it. And a canvas handle that I can put on it. Like Flight of the Monarch or Flight of the Butterfly. And then like Butterfly Shadows is this fabric. And this is one of the ones that you can hang on your belt loop. Or hands-free. And I just really liked these. I also got one of her Christmas ornaments, or not Christmas ornaments. I had ordered, where did I put it? I thought I was better prepared than this. Oh. Yeah. Something else I got at Erin Lane's. Here we go. I haven't even opened them up yet. All right, let me silence you for a moment for crinkling. Okay. So they had pre-orders for a Progress Keeper, I guess it would be, for the 20th anniversary of DFW Fiber Fest. It's all this glittery material. That gives you an idea of how big it is. And so I ordered one for me and one for you. So if you want to enter to win one of these, just put a comment down below and somewhere in it put the number 20. If you want to enter, just put the number 20 in your comment. And that's what I'm going to pull out to be able to do a drawing for one of these lovely stitch markers or Progress Keepers. Put that over there. Unfortunately, I will send it out since it is a gift. I don't think it will have any duties on it, but I don't know. You would know that better if you're in another country than I would. Okay, so I also got a few. They had a deal going on with their different yarn holders. This was my absolute favorite. Is this hedgehog? Isn't it cute? Okay. So, no, I may have gotten two of those. Yeah. Like I said, there was a deal on them. Okay, so that was it for Erin Lane. Okay. Then over at Charming You, she has a new base, which is the Shiniko sock, which you would have seen when I was pointing out what where my yarn used to be. Here is the yarn. That's what was there. And this is called Dewdrops. It's 100% superwash merino 3-ply. And it is just gorgeous. And I wanted to have enough to be able to make a vest, a top, a shawl, something along those lines, just out of this colorway. Then at Nordic Star Yarns, I bought a skein of this last year. And this is the Great Pumpkin. It is their lace weight, 70% Super Kid mohair and 30% mulberry silk. And I was going to make a ranunculus with it. And because they had it shown last year, one that they had made with it, one skein in my size. And I'm like, oh, but when I tried making the ranunculus with it, I could not find the lace work. I'm not good enough with lace at this point to where I was able to get through it and not have a tangled mess. So instead of, I thought about holding another yarn with it, and I'm like, no, that's really not what I'm wanting. I'm wanting something very fluffy. So here's some pictures more in depth of a couple of different patterns that they were showing made with this. And I think the peasant top is the one that I'm really wanting to make. And because of that, I was going to need 2. So I still have the other one in a bag down here. And so I needed to add to that. There's a plan. There is a plan. Okay, so next up was Quixotic Fibers. And I don't even know what these things are called. I think they're cute in a weird sort of way. But I've seen where people are going nuts over them and everything. I think it has to do with TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. So, but they're cute. And so I'm like, okay, grab a pair while I was there. And then I also got some Jamieson's and Smith Shetland wool from the Shetland Islands. And this is 2-ply jumper weight, 100% real Shetland wool. Colorways are FC11 mix and number 2 cerise. And so my plan for this is there is another of Telly Bean Knits scarves that is a Christmas one that I've already purchased. And so I have a Texas yarn that I'm wanting to put with this, and I'm going to make it with these because here in Texas, wearing a Christmas jumper or sweater doesn't always happen. So I'm going to go for this. All right. Then I can't remember the name of this booth, so I'll have to put the name down here below. They had a really fun booth, and you would have seen it in the video already. But I got one of their gnomes. Caroline, I finally have a gnome, even though it's 3D printed, and a heart. And these have, you can see the knit texture on these 3D printed ones, and they're just so much fun. So go ahead and put him over there, and then I'll be able to wear this red heart. And the last thing in here, this is really the last thing, is, okay, so where did that, oh, no, it's not the last thing. Also with Charming You, I forgot to show you, I got some more buttons. These, I had one pack of them, and I was needing a second pack, so she made sure I was able to get the cowl buttons to be able to go on to a vest that I am making. And I'm trying to figure, oh, now I remember. Am I missing something in here? Make sure nothing came off. Okay, so this here is yarn that I won along with in that clothing. So this was part of it. My last booth, this really is my last booth that I purchased from, was Ross with Twisted Ambitions. You would have met him with me during the Eastbound North Texas yarn crawl this year. And so I wanted to make something with minis from him. Kind of a fade. Let's see how I was looking at it. Yeah, kind of like this. And so if you purchased 4, or with it being Sunday, I think it was, you got an extra mini. So I purchased these 4, and then I got this extra one. So kind of to give you, so I don't know if I'll end up doing something color work with it or a fade. I'm thinking, you know, a cowl that's just a fade. This would be a lot of fun with. So that's the plan for that. So I tried to have some sort of a plan for what I did purchase. And so I just had a blast. All right, so thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I hope you guys have had a fun time too. And if you're interested in more content from me, I have at least, usually it's a monthly video and then some other stuff thrown in. And I will also be doing the rest of this year. I have Advent coming up, so I'll be doing daily vlogs during December. I will also be doing the Topping Out Mal coming in January, so look for information on it. It goes from January to March, and I will be doing it to where it's basically anything that you've already started prior to January 1st, 2026 can be entered. There will be monthly pattern prizes and then grand prize drawings at the end of it for finished objects. So this will be run on Ravelry. If you don't have Ravelry, I'll also have a way for you to be able to email me for entry, and we're just going to have a fun time at the beginning of the year, finishing up items. So there's a lot of content. I hope you come along. Please do like, subscribe. The channel is growing. I hit 650 and it started dropping back down a little bit, but it always fluctuates. So come along with me. Let's have a great time and let's continue just enjoying this fiber community. Thank you so much for giving me your time, and I will be seeing you in not too long.